What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here today, talking to you about the top 10 running backs to draft in the coming 2016-2017 NFL fantasy season. We've already done the quarterback position, the must and bust. If you haven't checked that out, go do that right now. Oh, wait. It's probably on the little sidebar or something like that. Anyways, we are here for the running back. So, some people say it's a dying position in the NFL, but in fantasy football, it is the most crucial position. So these may be the most game-breaking picks that you're going to make this entire fantasy football season. So I'm going to try to help you the best I can with dispelling some of the myths that some of these experts, so-called experts, say you should draft. Number 10, I'm going Ezekiel Elliot, the running back from Ohio State, now of the Dallas Cowboys. Some people have him as like the third best guy to draft, which is fucking absurd. He's a rookie. He's a rookie in a backfield with Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris. Now, I'm not going to say Ezekiel Elliott won't end up being the starter. He probably will be. But to get him as your first pick, he'd be a bad, wouldn't be an outrageous pick, but would be a bad, in my opinion, running back 1. I think he'd be an excellent running back 2 with a lot of upside and great for keeper value, but round 4 would be the earliest I would take Ezekiel Elliott. Todd Gurley came off the board in round 4, and people were crazy. Ezekiel Elliott is not a Todd Gurley. He's a good running back, but he's not a Todd Gurley. I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboy fans. He's just not. A great offensive line, he's going to a better offense, but for the pound-for-pound player in him, he's not. And I think Todd Gurley had to compete with Trey Mason, who's already starting to lose slip. Ezekiel Elliott's coming into Darren McFadden, who managed to stay healthy last year and had over 1,000 total yards. You get Alfred Morris, who came in as a pretty highly touted free agent in terms of the running back market. So I just think with the competition he has back there, he's not going to get the sheer amount of snaps that you want your running back 1 to get. And he's an unproven rookie. So much risk there. Number 10 for Ezekiel Elliott. Not bad enough to keep him out of the top 10, but number 10 for me. Number 9, I'm going Devonta Freeman, the running back from the Atlanta Falcons. I think he will be able to continue on his pretty much massive explosion out of the backfield last season. What do you have, 14-some touchdowns? I mean, he was an absolute monster. I think that will continue. I think Atlanta has a pretty underrated offensive line to be able to keep helping him, do what he does and move the rock. You got Telvin Smith back there, Tevin Coleman, back there, not the linebacker for the Jags. Tevin Coleman back there, who proved in his limited action that he might not be a starter. He's probably going to be a change of pace back. Probably will look like, the running back in Kansas, Niall Davis or something like that. As the years go on, I think Devonta Freeman is a legit pickup. I don't think he'll replicate his numbers last year. I mean, those were pretty much godly numbers, but he definitely should be a 1,000-yard running back, and he definitely will be able to get you out of some binds in a PPR league with some reception. So I like him here at 8. Number 9, I'm going Jamaal Charles, the perennial top 3 running back. He's just got hurt. I think, it's only a matter of time to all of these injuries catch up to him. He's already incredibly injury prone, which is enough to have him fall down most people's lists because he can't stay goddamn healthy. And you definitely do not draft Jamaal Charles without getting, Charchandrick West or whoever's going to be the backup there. But I just think, with all these injuries, how many times could he come back and be the same type of player? I think, this one here might be the last nail in the coffin. He's still going to be a good running back, but I would not take him super high. And for heaven forbid, if you fucking draft him, make sure you handcuff him. Number 7, go Mark Ingram from the New Orleans Saints. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a stud. I'm actually already projecting that I can get Mark Ingram in the 3rd, 4th round as great value. I think with the Saints offense, when he's healthy, he's very good. They use him out of the backfield. He doesn't have the greatest hands, but they still force feed him the ball out of the backfield, which he helps you in PPR leagues. He's a 1,000-yard runner with healthy. They use him a lot in the red zone now because Jimmy Graham's not there, so they pretty much cut out a lot of the pass plays in the red zone, and they're now trying to pound the rock in. And their offensive line there in New Orleans is average enough that they can help Mark Ingram become one of the top running backs in fantasy football. So I think it's 7. He's very good. Number 6 is another guy people are just overrating for some reason, and that's David Johnson. I mean, he had a great year. I had him on 2 of my fantasy teams. He was actually one of the reasons I won one of my leagues last year, and I'm still not going to overhype him. I think he's running back 2 or 3 on a couple of people's boards. He's ahead of LeVeon Bell on one of these guys. I'm not going to say who it was. He might be on Yahoo fucking drafts. They got Chris Johnson healthy. They got Andre Ellington healthy, much like the Ezekiel Elliott situation. He's a great running back, great offense, but the other players that are in there that they're still going to use, they're not going to just let these guys sit on the bench. The snaps aren't going to be there that the other high-end running backs are going to get. I think David Johnson's a monster, but, drafting him where this is more of he definitely has all the legitimacy to be a running back 1, but this is more or less where people are drafting him. Like, people are getting him in the first and second round. I would get David Johnson as a mid to late third rounder, and if he's available after that, I'd go snatch him up. But, I mean, anything higher than that, man, especially with all those guys, they got to feed some of those running backs back there. They got families to feed, so they're going to be getting the ball at some points. There's just too many greedy mouths, too many mouths to feed in that backfield. But still number 6, man. He's an absolute stud. That running against Philadelphia, I still have nightmares about that. Number 5, I'm going Doug Martin, the running back from Tampa Bay. I like the offense. They got to get Dirk Cutter as the OC, so I think they're going to see more of that offense. They're not going to go away from what worked last year. They're going to keep going with work last year, and what worked last year was Doug Martin. Doug Martin is very key in how Jameis Winston continues to develop. I think everyone there realizes that. They got weapons on the outside that makes them not really stack the box against them, because you got to have different coverages to cover Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson, those monsters. You got Austin Seferian-Jenkins now, who's going to emerge slowly as a better and better tight end. I think Doug Martin is a safe pick. I don't think he'll replicate what he did last year again. I think he probably should be, a 1,200-yard, 10-touchdown kind of guy, and getting some additions through the air, even though Charles Sims is the primary receiving back there in that offense. Number 4, I'm going Lamar Miller for the Houston Texans. For some reason, I'm really high on this. Like, I would not be upset if Lamar Miller fell to me in the second round. I would pick him up laughing. I'm picking second. We just did my mock draft and my mock draft order draft. Not even a mock. It's the draft order draft. And I'm picking second, so that means I'm not going to pick until 18th. I don't know if Lamar Miller will be there, but if he is, I'm probably going to go Lamar Miller. I think he's great receiving back, great for PPR leagues, which my league is. If you're a PPR league, he has a little bit more value than some other running backs. A great offensive line there in Houston. He's coming to a good offense. I think they're going to be much like – they're going to treat Brock Osweiler almost like a rookie quarterback, I think. They're going to try to rely on the run game to give him a little bit of a break, give him some extra slack, and then also release the pressure so that he can actually drop back in the pocket on some plays with the play action and find DeAndre Hopkins or Will Fuller or Braxton Miller, whoever you may want to favor. But I think Lamar Miller is – something about him. I want Lamar Miller on one of my teams if I can get him. Number 3 is Todd Gurley. This is the big year in LA. They're going to need to have big things, and they're going to rely on him. They got a rookie quarterback. He is going to get the ball a lot. His receiving cast is not that great. Offensive line is average. But I just think from the sheer number I would not be surprised to see Todd Gurley. I would not even be surprised. I would bet that Todd Gurley will have the most rushing attempts next season. Just from that sheer number of carries alone and how talented he is, it just strikes me as another AP type year. I'm lucky. I'm keeping him. He's one of my keepers in my big league. Got him in the 4th round last year because you don't overdraft rookie quarterbacks or one-year wonders. Ezekiel Elliot, Devonta Freeman, David Johnson. But I think Todd Gurley's going to be a beast, man, and definitely worth a first-round pick for a running back. It's not you need to get a beast running back. Todd Gurley is a beast running back. At number 2, I have LeVeon Bell. The only reason why I have LeVeon Bell here over Todd Gurley is because of his catching ability. PPR leagues are growing more and more popular by the year, and I think LeVeon Bell offers the best PPR value for a top-end running back. He is coming off that injury, but now without Martavis Bryant in the offense, they're going to need to throw the ball around more to their big targets. So Antonio Brown's going to have, he's going to have a massive year anyways, but I think they're going to look more and more to LeVeon Bell catching the ball to help replicate the just sheer number of receptions that they're going to lose with Martavis Bryant. So I really like Le'Veon Bell, but he's still not good enough to get the number 1 because that's AP. AP is the number 1 running back for me every year until he retires. I'm going to say it. No matter what, he's a beast. He defies all gravity. He had that 1 year off. I swear to God, he probably added another 4 or 5 years to his playing career by the way he played last season. I think AP is always going to be a lock for double-digit touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. And just because of the safety, the pure safety you give Adrian Peterson makes him my number 1 target. Safety is key at the running back position because it's also it might be the most tough position to draft and the most important position to draft, but that's because a lot of guys get hurt. Any of these guys can get hurt. AP pound for pound is the most consistent year in, year out. And I know I'm talking about Mr. Tears ACL and got suspended for a year, but those were flash in the pans. Everyone gets 1. I think AP is the safest pick to get in this year's draft. And my sleeper is Chris Ivory for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm throwing you guys a sleeper. I'm a big fan of Chris Ivory. I think he will get the starting nod over TJ Yeldon, and I think I could definitely see low-key Ivory. Might not hit 1,000 because there's going to be some guys that want snaps out of the backfield, Darrell Robinson and Yeldon. But I think you can get double-digit touchdowns for Chris Ivory. I think he'll be a very productive running back too. Excellent flex value, so go get him. There, guys. Top 10 running backs As always, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.